Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan Abramski. I'm the Business Development Director, and I'm joined as always with Teresa Jackson, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for EasyLiving. We're a home care and care management agency serving in the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. As always, the Ask a Care Manager series is brought to you by our friends over at the Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, theseniorlivingguide.com, your one-stop local and statewide resource for all things senior housing and health. Anything from home care services like EasyLiving to assisted living facilities, memory care, senior health, wellness, and care management services, again, like EasyLiving. Check out Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, seniorlivingguide.com. So, Teresa, welcome back. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We hope you all had a great Thanksgiving as well. So as we start approaching the second round of holiday season, various holidays out there that everyone celebrates, it's not always a joyous and fun time for some people and for a lot of people dealing with different things in their life that might negatively impact them. And I think the best word you used when we were talking about it before we got on today was grief.
Yes.
So Teresa, I wanted to kind of pick your brain as being someone who's an expert in, the senior and elderly realm. This has got to be a tough year for not only for elderly people, but there's other people out there that deal with this time of year also.
Exactly. I mean, looking at your tree, you're celebrating, you're getting ready to celebrate and getting in the holiday spirit. And that can be very difficult for a lot of people because the holidays can be a reminder of someone that they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, it can be a sad time of year. Maybe they're putting on the face that, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. I'm expected to be happy this time of year. So I better be happy, but deep down they're not. They're mourning, they're grieving for a loss. And this doesn't have to be a loss that, occurred this year. It could be a loss many years ago. I know a lot of times I will talk about my mother when and I'll use her as an example. She's a widow. My father passed away almost 20 years ago. And, she will tell me, she'll say, Teresa, it seems like it was just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know the holiday seasons are difficult for her. But it's not just that. It's just, I talk to her every day. When I go home from work, I have a long drive, so I'll talk to my mother. And she'll talk to me about different people in the community. And a lot of times she's telling me about people that have passed away. Mm-hmm. And it seems like every week someone she knows has passed away. And it's very difficult. And, she's saying, well, you remember so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, not really, because I haven't lived home, many, many years. But these are people that were her friends. Mm-hmm. Or, distant relatives or just neighbors that she's known the majority of her life. And it's very difficult. So, thinking about the holiday season and you start thinking about gifts and what, you go out and you're shopping and everybody's trying to buy something that somebody might need. And, very few of us really need much at all.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what really is a good gift to give someone? I started thinking about my conversations with my mother, and really listening can be one of the best gifts that you can give someone. I mean, right now I was thinking, it's not the present, it's about being present with someone. Mm-hmm. But we can't necessarily do that with COVID still going on and the recommendations not to travel during the holiday season. So you might not be able to go and visit a loved one and a family member, but you still have that opportunity to listen, to actively listen to the stories that they are telling. I during these conversations with my mother, I have heard so many stories that I have never heard before. And it is such a blessing. And I feel so honored to have, this opportunity. Because someone, and I mean, even I think about myself, I have teenage boys. And at this part of my life, I would love to sit down and tell them stories about, when I was growing up, or some of the things that I did when I was younger. Teenage boys, they're really not interested right now, and that kind of makes me sad a little bit. And, think about yourself with your own children, they're younger. And this is such a wonderful time, to have small children during the holidays. And it's like, so this year for we put up a little tree, and I put all the little decorations that my teenagers, when they were probably your children's age, I put them on the tree. All those little cutout handmade ornaments. And I got kind of weepy doing it, because I was like, I'm mourning the loss of my children being young and having that experience. So think about someone that's elderly and that may be living by themselves, and they are mourning the loss of not just maybe a significant other, but friends and neighbors. And so, listening to them and letting them share their stories with you, I think would be an incredible gift that you can give someone. And if you have the ability or to write them down, to record them, oh my gosh, because one of the things we don't do, I don't think I have a letter from my husband, or I've never written him a letter. I've got cards, and I have this issue. I'm a card hoarder. I have every card that anybody has ever sent me, probably since I was 18 years old. So we won't talk about how long that is, but I have bought.
Oh, only like 5 years, right?
Yeah, just a few years. And so I've got those cards that he has sent me, Valentine cards, Christmas cards, birthday cards, but I don't have a letter. And now we don't have pictures. Everything's digital.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be even more difficult when we are older to share these memories with our children, because, we're going to lose those pictures online. We're going to lose those emails that you sent if you don't have a handwritten letter, a handwritten note. So, maybe during this time of isolation, let's sit down and write letters to someone, write a note to someone, a handwritten note. Mm-hmm. Record some of those stories that your loved one is telling you.
And print some pictures out.
Oh yeah, print the pictures out.
Yeah, there's a website, freeprints.com. You can print up to a couple hundred pictures, every year, I think, that you can print out for free.
Exactly. Or do one of, on Facebook, you can print out a book, I believe. Or, I always go to Walmart and print out like travel books. Like if we go on a big trip or something, I'll do a book about that particular trip. Because, think about it. When you and your wife are older, what are you going to hand down? What treasures are you going to hand down to your children?
Mm-hmm.
Besides that lovely decoration of Baby Yoda on the tree behind you. But,
of course.
But think about, because this is a hard time.
Yep.
And we're all wanting to celebrate, but it's a hard time for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I heard a good quote one time. It's if you don't honor them, they die twice. And I think that was such a resonating quote that it's so true. Is if, yes, someone could pass away, but if you don't take the time to talk about them, remember them, tell stories about them, and it might be hard to do that, but you're continuing to remember them and not forgetting who they are and not letting it fade away, basically. So.
Exactly. And I know I work with a lot of clients that have dementia, and I have dealt with families saying, Dad just tells the same story over and over and over. Well, dementia is a progressive illness, and the ability to tell that story will one day go away.
Yep. Absolutely.
So you need to, not get frustrated when Dad's telling you that story again and again of whatever it was. maybe actively listen to it, and maybe you can pull out more details each and every time he tells that story. Because again, one day he might not be able to tell that story anymore.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Teresa, so much. We
Yeah.
always appreciate your insight and your real world connection to what you're dealing with on your own side and what some of your clients are dealing with, and it's always good to kind of put those all together. So we appreciate that as always, and we thank you all for joining us as always. We hope to see you next week. Have a great day.